So, do you remember I made this video? We had an old photo from, I think it was from 1984 of one of the stones that used to be outside the chapel at Great Bar Hall. We got this photo, but we couldn't really read it. And Heather Harvey responded to it and said, I know what they all say. And then out of the blue, one night, I got this email with all these poems attached. And she told me there was an article from 1915, which I've now found. I'll put a link to this below. So we now know originally there were 5 stones. I think over time things changed. Crazy thing is the Bounder stone, the one that we found with Sir Arthur Scott's horse, the Bounder, the one that we moved to the church. Kev thinks that the Bounder stone might have stood maybe in front of the stables, and it may have stood upright. Let's see what we've got here. So we know now. The other crazy thing, there's so much here that I'll forget things that are really important. Billy, that we have a photo of, the photo we have must have been of a replica stone, because the original stone was spelt differently according to this article. So the Billy stone said, fuck, I can't get the phrasing. So look, I'm going to do this shit, and that's that. Farewell, dear Billy, nevermore. Thy cheery bark I hear. O'er thy little grave I pour my grief with many a tear, and yet thou art happy in thy rest, and from all troubles free. Thy long bright life was surely blessed. So good thou wert to me. Died April 24th, 1886. MABS. Mildred Ann Bateman Scott had a complete mind blank then. And now for the big reveal. The stone, this stone, the one that we couldn't read, it says, Goodbye, dear Spot. They say thou art for ever gone, and ne'er canst be again. But who can tell what he may do, who made both dogs and men? I would not venture to pronounce what may be his decree, but he who all things can restore may have a life for thee. Died March 18, 1892. Mildred Ann Bateman Scott. And then there was a couple more. In memory of my dear old parrot, who died November 24th, 1895, a friend and companion of over 22 years. And then it says M.A. Bateman Scott. My dear cat Tommy, who left this world 1901. Wait a minute. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 4. So this is what was recorded in an article in 1915, which was about hospital chapels, would you believe? They were doing a remarkable hospital chapels. Contributions invited. The chapel of Great Bar Hall Institution near Birmingham. Look at what it looked like inside. And if you follow this to the series that I've done on Great Bar Hall, you can see what it looks like now. It's in a right fucking state. So yeah, there were. So again, the numbers keep changing. There were 4 stones outside the chapel, and then when it came to the 60s, people were talking about, I think there being 5 or 6, and I think I can explain how there could be 6. This is my explanation. It could be wrong. We've been wrong about a lot as we've gone through this investigation, but this is a possibility. 4 original stones outside the chapel. A copy was made of the Billy stone, and if that was added, if that was additional, there would be 5, and then at some point the Bounder stone, maybe at some point before the 60s, the Bounder stone was laid down in the same area, and then it would be 6. There are 2 eyewitnesses who are talking about there having been 6 stones in the 60s, and then there was a guy who took the photos in 1984, who I should credit. I hope he doesn't mind. And that was Colin Cragg, and he took some photos in 1984, and he said there were 3. There were 3 stones. at that time. And Colin says that he only knew of one horse, one bird, and one dog. Okay, so that's it. Bit of a ramble. If you found this useful, because I think people will come along in the future and try and repeat the research that we're doing, and you might find this useful. If you do find this useful, please like, please subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye.